Ava Thompson, 17, only had one thing remaining on her bucket list. When the physicians initially used the phrase terminal and offered her 6 months, if she was lucky, she wrote it 3 months ago. The majority of the other items were already crossed off by her. Take another look at the ocean. Verify. Inform her crush about her feelings for him. Verify. He had also been kind about it. Write letters to her family so they can read them after she's gone. The most difficult check of all. However, the final task remained obstinately incomplete. Attend a Taylor Swift performance. Only time. It appeared to be such a trivial matter, such a typical teenage fantasy. However, that ideal was becoming more and more elusive for Ava, who had stage 4 glioblasto, an aggressive brain tumor that had resisted all treatments. Her city would not be visited by the AIS trip. Ava's physicians had stated that she was too frail to go, and the closest event was 3 hours away in Nashville. The frequency of the seizures was increasing. Despite taking the most medication possible, the pain was getting worse, and time, which had always felt endless when she was well, became a valuable resource that could only be measured in weeks or even days. Sophie, Ava's elder sister, had tried everything. She had written to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but Ava didn't have months and the wait list was lengthy. She had reached out to Taylor's staff via all available channels, but the communications vanished into the emptiness of celebrity management systems. She had shared prayers and hashtags on social media. Nothing had really changed until the video, despite the fact that hundreds of people had shared and left heartfelt comments. Even though Ava could hardly sit up without feeling lightheaded, it was her idea. She had demanded that Sophie record her as she was propped up in her hospice bed, sporting the t-shirt from the Lover era that she had purchased back when everything made sense. With trembling hands, Sophie had positioned her phone on a tripod and hit record. Ava had answered, "Hi, Taylor," in a feeble but resolute voice. She stopped, gathering strength, and then, "My name is Ava Thompson. I'm 17 years old and I'm dying. Glioblasto is what I have. There is essentially no chance of survival for that type of brain tumor. I'm running out of time because the doctors gave me 6 months 3 months ago. I realize you're busy and have millions of admirers, so you probably won't notice this, but my sister advised me to give it a shot." Ava had grinned, the devastating smile of someone who was trying to be courageous even though they knew they were losing. "Since I was 10 years old, I've been quick. I made a playlist of your songs to listen to during chemotherapy as soon as I was diagnosed. Your music helped me get through my parents' divorce, middle school bullying, and my first heartbreak. When I was upset, you should have calmed down. You'll soon recover from my fear. I wanted to live long enough to remember that even if life is brief, it may still be beautiful." At that moment, her voice had broken. "I have a list of things I want to do. I've mainly ticked it off already, but before I pass away, there is one thing I really want. Just once, I would like to hear you sing live. Without speakers or headphones, I would like to be in the same room as you and hear your speech. I want to experience what it's like to be at a concert with others who share my passion for your music." By then, tears were flowing down her cheeks. "I am aware that I am unable to visit Nashville. I'm too ill. I am aware that you are unable to halt your tour in order to see a single girl. Although I am aware that this is not feasible, my sister mentioned that miracles do occasionally occur, so I suppose I am hoping for one. Hello, and thank you for your music if you happen to see this. I appreciate you being my life's music, and it's okay if I don't get to see you. I already have so much from you." She had stared straight into the camera. "Taylor, I don't fear death. I learned from your music that every second counts. That since we are dying, we must live as though we are. Everybody. Some of us are simply more aware of it. I'm grateful that you taught me how to live. I hope you never stop creating music. The world requires it." Sophie shared the video on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. She had tagged every fan account she could locate, as well as Taylor and Taylor Nation. The caption was straightforward. "My sister is dying. This is her last request. Please assist us in getting this to Taylor Swift." Lastish. Overnight, the video became viral. Not gradually, not slowly, nor violently. It received 1 million views in just 6 hours. 5 million in 12 hours. It reached the top of the global Twitter trending list in less than a day. It was shared by celebrities. Everyone is contributing their voices to the chorus, including actors, athletes, and other musicians. See this, Taylor, please. It was picked up by news organizations. The final dream of dying teenagers to see Taylor Swift becomes viral. The coverage was devastating but courteous. Every article emphasizes the same harsh reality. Time was running out for Ava. The notifications made Sophie's phone unusable. From all across the world, messages flooded in. People who offer to pay for tickets, make travel arrangements, provide prayers, hope, and love. However, it didn't matter because the underlying issue persisted. Ava was unable to travel, while Taylor was traveling. Then Sophie's phone rang 3 days after the video was uploaded. The number is unknown. "Hello," she said, anticipating another reporter. "Is this Sophie Thompson, Ava's sister?" "Yes, who's this? Is Taylor Swift?" Sophie hung up. Sophie's hands trembled as she fumbled to pick up the phone and finally spoke. "I apologize. Who is this?" "It's Taylor. I watched Ava's video. I really apologize for what you two are going through." Without being able to speak, Sophie broke down in tears. "I need you to pay attention to me, Sophie." With a voice full of emotion, Taylor went on. "I'd like to visit Ava. She's where?" "In Portland, Oregon. She is receiving hospice care. You're on tour, though." "I have 3 days off in between gigs, so you can't do that. Tomorrow I'll be in Portland. But I need you to be honest with me, Sophie. Is Ava going to have tomorrow? Is she still here?" Sophie stated that, although she is growing weaker, she is still fighting. She stated that she won't leave until she is certain that the video was successful. She's genuinely holding on to see if you witnessed it. Taylor's voice cracked. "Then she is aware now. Inform her that I witnessed it. Let her know I'll be there. I'm bringing the concert tour, so tell her to wait another day." "What?" "I have everything with me. The staging, the band. We are able to fit the pieces. The Eras tour will come to her if she is unable to attend." "She's where?" "Which hospice?" She received the information from Sophie. "I hardly thought this was genuine. We'll be there at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Don't tell Ava, Sophie. I want it to come as a surprise." The next 24 hours were logistically crazy. At Essence, Taylor's crew had to work quickly to arrange a private concert at a hospice. When contacted, the hospice administrator first stated that it was not feasible. Space limitations, other patients, and regulations. Then Taylor herself picked up the phone. "I can see your worries, but I have a dying 17-year-old girl who wants to watch me play. I'll operate within your limitations. If I have to, I'll perform in her room. If electronics are an issue, I'll use acoustic instruments. To make sure we're not bothering anyone, I'll work with each patient in the institution. However, tomorrow, I'm going to see Ava Thompson, and I'm giving her the concert she deserves. Please assist me in making this happen." The administrator sobbed and promised to make things work. A plane was chartered by Taylor. Along with a tiny team, she brought her pianist and acoustic guitarist. Every costume item they could fit was packed, along with portable speakers and a basic lighting setup. They made arrangements to use the hospice's common area, which had space for roughly 50 people. Taylor also called the Swiftie community in Portland once again. She said, "I need you to help me fill a room," to the administrator of the largest Portland fan club. "But you can't post about it. You can't tell anyone outside your most trusted people. Can you quietly gather Swifties who will keep this secret until after it happens?" Within hours, the local community had organized 50 trusted fans who would come to the hospice tomorrow, who would keep the secret, who would help give Ava the concert experience she deserved. The next day, Ava was having a bad morning. The pain was intense. She'd had 2 seizures already. Her mother, Karen, sat beside her bed, holding her hand, quietly despairing because she could see her daughter slipping away. "Mom," Ava whispered. "Did Taylor see the video?" They'd been getting this question every hour. "Sweetie, I don't know," Karen said, her heart breaking. "Millions of people may have seen it, but she didn't see it," Ava remarked, tears streaming from her closed eyelids. "She won't be aware of my existence after I pass away." That is untrue. You are important. Is there a video or not? You are important. A nurse arrived at 1:45 p.m. with an odd request. We're hosting a special event in the common area this afternoon, Ava, honey. Do you want to go? Your bed can be wheeled down there. Weakly, Ava shook her head. I'm not feeling well. All I want is to go to sleep. The nurse murmured softly, Please. For the personnel, it would mean a great deal. This has only been on our radar for a short time. Karen was suspicious of something in the nurse's tone, but she dared not hope. Ava, hurry up. Let's go for a short while. Ava's hospital bed was wheeled along the hallway. She closed her eyes, tired of being alive. The nurse stopped as they got to the doors of the common area. When Ava opened her eyes, she noticed that the room had changed. Okay, Ava, open your eyes. There were flowers, soft lights, and perhaps 50 people standing there with signs that said, We love you, Ava, and long live Ava. What? Ava was perplexed. What is this? Taylor Swift entered the room with an acoustic guitar once the throng parted. What Ava's eyes were seeing was too much for her brain to comprehend. This was untrue, it was a hallucination. She was seeing things because of the tumor. Taylor Swift wasn't crying while standing 10 feet away from her in a frock from the Romantic era. Hi, Ava, Taylor murmured. Ava made a sound that was halfway between a gasp and a sob and said, I saw your video. They both started crying as her mother took hold of her hand. Taylor approached and knelt next to Ava's bed. You said you wanted to hear me sing in person, so I brought you a concert. Is that okay? You're really here. Ava managed. This is real. It's real. I'm here and I'm going to sing every song you want to hear. We have all afternoon. We have as long as you want. Ava completely broke down. 17 years of life, 3 months of dying, and 3 days of hoping all crashed into this single moment. She sobbed so hard she could barely breathe, and Taylor just held her hand and let her cry. When Ava could finally speak, she said, I can't believe you came. You stopped your tour for me. Ava, you're not just anyone, you're someone who taught me what courage looks like. I watched your video and I thought, this girl has weeks to live and she's using her energy to make a video thanking me for my music. That's not just brave, that's extraordinary. So yes, I stopped my tour because you matter more than any concert I could give to thousands of people. You matter, Ava. What followed was unlike any performance Taylor had ever given. This wasn't a stadium show. This was intimate, raw, and heartbreakingly beautiful. She performed an abbreviated Eras tour, 1 or 2 songs from each album era, tailored to Ava's favorites based on what Sophie had told her team. Fearless opener, love story. Because Ava had told her sister it was the first Taylor song she'd ever heard. Speak now. Long live. And when Taylor sang the line, I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you, she looked directly at Ava and everyone understood. Ava was fighting the biggest dragon of all, read all too well, and Ava sang along to every word despite her weakness, tears streaming down her face. 1989, Shake It Off. And the 50 Swifties in the room danced around Ava's bed while she laughed. Actually laughed for the first time in weeks. Reputation. Delicate. Performed so tenderly it felt like a lullaby. Lover. The title track dedicated to everyone who's loved Ava and shown her what matters. Folklore cardigan. And Ava closed her eyes, mouthing along looking peaceful. Evermore Margery, which Taylor had never performed on tour but chose because it was about loss and love and keeping people alive through memory. Between songs, Taylor talked to Ava, asked about her life, her family, her favorite memories. She didn't treat Ava like a dying girl. She treated her like a friend, like someone worth knowing. What's been your favorite part of life? Taylor asked at one point. Ava thought for a moment. This right now. This is my favorite part. After 90 minutes of performing, Taylor said she had one more surprise. She pulled out a notebook, her actual songwriting notebook, filled with lyrics and notes, and crossed out lines. Ava, you said in Your video that my music was the soundtrack to your life. Well, you've become part of my story now too. So, I wrote you something. It's called 17 Summers, and it's about you. She began to play a song she'd written on the plane ride to Portland, a song about a girl who'd lived 17 years with enough courage to fill a lifetime. About how some lives are measured in moments, not years. About how the bravest thing anyone can do is love the world, even when the world is letting them go. You've had 17 summers, but you've lived like you had 1,000. Every moment a treasure, every breath like a flower. And when they said you were running out of time, you didn't waste a second feeling sorry or asking why. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Ava sobbed through the entire song, and when it ended, Taylor handed her the notebook. This is yours. The song, the notebook, all of it. Your life mattered enough to be turned into music. I want you to know that. Ava clutched the notebook like it was the most precious thing in the world, because it was. After the performance, after the other guests had filed out, leaving Ava with just her family and Taylor, they talked quietly. Ava was exhausted but fighting sleep because she didn't want this to end. Are you scared? Taylor asked gently. About what's coming? Ava considered the question. Sometimes, mostly, I'm scared of being forgotten. Like I'm 17. I didn't cure cancer, or write a book, or do anything important. What if I die and it's like I was never here? Taylor shook her head firmly. Ava, you've already done something important. You've shown thousands, maybe millions of people how to face the impossible with grace. Your video has been viewed over 20 million times. People around the world know your name. They're praying for you. They're donating to brain cancer research in your honor. You've created ripples that will keep spreading long after. She couldn't finish the sentence. Long after I'm gone, Ava finished for her. It's okay. You can say it, I'm dying. It's not a secret. You're also living. Taylor countered. Right now, in this moment, you're alive, and that matters. Ava smiled weakly. Your music taught me that. The whole living like we're dying thing, I used to think that was just lyrics, but it's true, isn't it? We're all dying. I just have a better sense of my deadline. Taylor laughed through tears. That's very dark and very wise. I've had a lot of time to think. What do you think about when it's quiet? Ava looked at her mother, her sister, then back at Taylor. I think about the people I love, about my mom's laugh and my sister's terrible jokes, and my dog who won't understand why I never come home. I think about sunsets and good songs and that one perfect day at the beach 3 months ago. And I think that if I had to do it all again, knowing how it ends, I'd still choose to live because even the sad parts were worth it. As evening approached and Ava began fading, not dying, but exhausted from the most overwhelming day of her life, Taylor knew she had to leave. But there was one more thing she needed to do. Ava, can I sing you one last song just for you to help you sleep? Ava nodded, her eyes already closing. Taylor sang Safe and Sound, the lullaby she'd written years ago. And as she sang, Ava's breathing deepened and her face relaxed into peace. For the first time in months, she looked like she wasn't in pain. When the song ended, Ava whispered without opening her eyes, "Thank you for my concert. It was flawless." "You are flawless. Everything is flawless." Taylor murmured back, "Thank you for reminding me why I make music." Ava Thompson, you are a gift. When I'm gone, would you still remember me? Taylor pledged to do it every day. She hugged Sophie and Karen, kissed Ava's forehead every day, and walked out of the hospice with tears running down her cheeks. 5 days following Taylor's visit, Ava Thompson died quietly in the company of her loved ones. Sophie claims that her final coherent words were, "I got my concert. I got to meet Taylor. Everything's okay now." Taylor received the news while performing. Live in Denver. She dedicated the entire performance to Ava, but she finished the show since that's what she would have wanted. She spoke to the audience before she passed away. "I met the most courageous person I've ever met 5 days ago. Ava Thompson was her name. She had brain cancer and was dying at the age of 17. Her final request was to have a private concert, so I took a plane to Portland to fulfill it. I also learned of Ava's passing today. The stadium fell silent. However, since Ava didn't want sadness, I don't want to make this depressing. She wanted to make the most of her remaining time. She did too. She received her concert. She was able to perform her favorite tunes. She had the opportunity to be surrounded by kind individuals, and she was content in her final days. Taylor wiped her eyes and said to her sister, "Everything's okay now." This song is therefore dedicated to Ava and to all others who are struggling. Everyone who shows up despite being afraid. Everyone who is aware of how little time they have is choosing to make the most of it. In any case, Ava claimed that life was worthwhile despite its terrible moments. I wish I could have that much bravery in my life. 68,000 people sang "Long Live" for a girl they had never met but would never forget. A month later, Taylor founded the Ava Thompson Foundation, which funds brain cancer research and grants children with fatal illnesses their ultimate desires. The charity assisted 127 young individuals in fulfilling their final wishes in just the first year. All of the revenues from her single 17 Summers went to the organization. Not because it was catchy, but because it was truthful. It became one of her most streamed songs. With permission from the family, Sophie posted videos from Ava's private performance. They went viral once more, but the message was different this time. Look what love can do, even if it doesn't help us attract Taylor's attention. See what happens when you show up. Additionally, Taylor reminded everyone that some lives are measured not in years but in the depth of their effect by performing 17 Summers during her tour on the anniversary of AA's passing each year. And that's it. A tale that both breaks and feeds our hearts, destroying and rebuilding us. When Ava Thompson passed away, she was 17 years old. She never completed high school, attended college, had a job, traveled the world, or engaged in any of the activities we consider to be important in life. However, she had more bravery in 17 years than most people can manage in 80. She too had a wonderful encounter in her last days, being genuinely seen, genuinely appreciated, and genuinely celebrated, not just meeting her idol. Taylor Swift performed the unimaginable at the request of a dying girl, not out of convenience or notoriety. And sometimes that's sufficient justification. She arranged a logistical nightmare, halted her tour, rented a plane, and offered everything she had to one individual in need. That goes beyond simple generosity. That's what love is. That's realizing that everyone has unlimited value and should be respected, even a dying adolescent you've never met. This tale poses the question, who in our lives needs us to do the unimaginable for them? We are the ones with platforms, not famous people. Ordinary folks with hectic schedules and few resources. Who requires us to put everything on hold and show up? More importantly, will we actually do it? Will we restructure our lives, charter our own figurative airplanes, or take on the challenging and inconvenient task because someone we love needs us? 5 days after her performance, Ava Thompson passed away. However, she passed away content. After realizing her unattainable ambition, she passed away. She knew she was important when she passed away. Recall that while we have no control over how much time we have, we do have power over how we use it. Ava made the decision to embrace life to the fullest. Taylor made the decision to turn up in recognition of that bravery. Don't wait until the next time. Never presume that tomorrow will always exist. Do the unimaginable if someone truly needs you. Put an end to everything. Be present. Be in the moment. Make the seemingly impossible possible, because it is the appearance of affection. To actually see another human being is like that. Ava received her concert. She received 17 Summers. She also learned that her life was important enough for someone to take unimaginable risks.